I know the Square presentation was after Microsoft's, but I prefer to get negativity out of the way. Good lord, that Square presentation was complete garbage. I'm not really the biggest fan of Square, but I can tell when a presentation is good or bad. Just because I don't like the games doesn't mean I can't say that they are good or bad or what they showed off, you know, etc, etc. They spent legitimately like half of the presentation focused on the Guardians of the Galaxy game. I have zero faith that it will actually be good because the Avengers game that they released was also bad. Maybe they spent 20 minutes on it saying, hey, it won't be a piece of garbage like Avengers, but like, I don't know, I just skipped it. I am so glad that I didn't watch this live. That 20 minutes would have been unbearable. They also showed off some Avengers DLC that I don't really care about it. It's like, oh wow, DLC for a garbage game that's just fundamentally broken at its core. Great. I think it's like, here's the thing. It's bad, not just because, oh, I didn't like the game. It's bad because the people it was made for, which are Square fans, didn't get anything out of it. There wasn't any major Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, whatever news. And what there was kind of stuff we already knew about. So what was the point of them even showing up to E3 this year? What was the point? I'm struggling to think of a single reason why they really didn't need to be here. And what's worse is that Ubisoft's conference was better than this. Ubisoft's conference, that one legitimately had better pacing, more games that I actually cared about, and it justified its length. This did not need to be 45 minutes. Everything in this video, or a presentation or showcase or whatever, could have easily been condensed into 10 minutes. But it's a drawn out slog. At least with Ubisoft, they went really in depth with everything. So, you know, they justified it. But here they go in depth a lot, unlike one or two games, and they just kind of throw the rest in a couple minute trailers. Overall, I am very disappointed, and I didn't even have any expectations going in. And that is how you can tell that you just screwed up. Anyways, Xbox's was actually pretty good. As per usual, the biggest problem that I had with the conference, and the biggest problem I've had with every Microsoft conference lately, is that it was mostly just cinematic trailers instead of actual gameplay. Other than that though, I actually liked a lot of what they showed off here. Now I'm not gonna go in depth on everything that they talked about, like I did with Ubisoft, because there are a lot more titles. I'm just gonna kind of go over what I personally found notable. They opened the conference with Starfield. You know, I was actually legitimately surprised to see that it was releasing November next year. I thought it was going to be like a 2023 game. So that was a pleasant surprise. I will say though, it was very disappointing that we didn't actually get to see what the gameplay was, especially after Todd Howard said we were going to give you a special little teaser as to what the game is. But it's like, it just kind of looks like another generic game. It's just, oh, it takes place in space. Well, like, what's it about? Is it Skyrim in space? Like, what's the deal with this game? I will give it a little bit of a pass since it is over a year out. But next time we see it, if we don't get any gameplay, yeah. The Sea of Thieves and Pirates of the Caribbean, I was not expecting that. I didn't see it coming. It was hilarious. It made me laugh. It's the hardest I've laughed in a good way, obviously, but you know, it's the hardest I've laughed in a good long while at one of these announcements. It was just kind of funny because I didn't see it coming, and looking back on it, it's like it doesn't even really feel that obvious to me personally. But yeah, that was definitely up there in the event. The fact that they're adding a bunch of Yakuza games to Game Pass, that was a really cool announcement. I've never played any, you know, because I never play any games outside of Nintendo. It feels like. You know, the stealth drop of Yakuza Like a Dragon, or maybe the whole thing, I'm not really sure. That was a really cool announcement. I really like that. There were actually a few like Shooty McBang games that I just didn't really care about. I think they just look like your generic Shooty McBang games they show off at every E3. 12 minutes still looks cool, but I've already seen it before. So yeah, Psychonauts 2 still looks great. I'm so excited to play it, and I'm so happy that we finally have a release date after we played the first one. I really liked it, and you know, this was probably the #1 game at the event. It was something I already knew about, but yeah, Bethesda games on Game Pass is pretty cool, I guess. You know, back when Bethesda made, not Fallout 76 type garbage. In fact, they did show off some Fallout 76 garbage. It looks fine, I guess. There's Elder Scrolls Online stuff. They also looks fine, I guess. They show off like party animals or whatever. It's fine, I guess, but I don't really know what the whole point of the game is. Hades coming to Game Pass is pretty cool, but I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of roguelikes, and I've seen Hades, and I mean, it looks good. It's just, it doesn't really click with me. Somerville was easily the highlight of the event for me personally, of like original games that I didn't know about. I love the art style. I wish that we did get to know a bit more of what it actually was like what's the gameplay. It's like a year out, so I'm really looking forward to that game. Can't wait to see more on it. Outer Worlds 2 was a very out of nowhere announcement. Like, I was not expecting it. I haven't really been following Outer Worlds. I just kind of thought, like, is it like Fallout in space? I don't know. I didn't really think much of it. But hey, it's getting a sequel. Might play the original. Who knows? Halo Infinite looks good. They wouldn't really put it beyond just good. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, that it isn't just kind of a 7 out of 10 solid game. It does look like another Halo game. It does look like a good Halo game, but I don't think it will do anything to really pass the Bungie games. I could hope that it does, but I'm not really hopeful of it, but I guess I'm looking forward to it, And then, once again, they steal Nintendo's kind of one more thing. Ooh, and they show off Redfall. I don't really care. It's like, okay, cool. It's like, meh. Looks fine, I guess. Just not really much to say. It takes a while. But easily, the best announcement of the entire conference was the Xbox mini fridge. It came out of nowhere. It's like, thanks for watching, and then all of a sudden, Xbox mini fridge. I really liked that. It was good, and I really want one, unironically. It would just be, it would be just nice to have. Overall, I'd say that Xbox's E3 event was good, but it doesn't really do anything to surpass any of their previous events. In fact, I would say that it's on par with them. I wish that they would show more gameplay for things because, Psychonauts 2 got gameplay, but we already knew about that game. Somerville got some gameplay, but it didn't really do anything to show what the game was actually about. Halo Infinite got some gameplay, but we already knew about that game. In fact, we've known about it for a few years now. So, I wish that we'd stop getting cinematic trailers. It's been years, and every single time I'm thinking, hopefully that just won't have cinematic trailers, but every year I'm just kind of annoyed. It gets worse and worse over time. Cinematic trailers tell you nothing about the game. It's like cinematic trailers are just as effective as logos. You see a logo and you see a cinematic trailer, they're both equal. They tell you nothing about the game unless like maybe it's the opening cutscene or something, but most of the time it's not even that. But other than that, Xbox E3 event was good. Not much else. And Square Enix's event was just terrible, and I really do think that it will end up being the worst conference of E3. I'm really hoping that Capcom and Nintendo deliver, because right now it's like, yeah, it's sure is an E3 event. I kind of enjoyed myself with Xbox and Ubisoft. They were fine, I guess. I'm really hoping that tomorrow really, we get to have some stuff picked up, because I'm just not feeling it. It's kind of a repeat of 2019, and I really don't want that. But yeah, thanks for letting me waste your time, and good